Supreme Court over LGA's autonomy. The federal government has instituted a legal action against the governors of the 36 states of the Federation at the Supreme Court over alleged misconduct in the administration of local government areas. The suit filed by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi is seeking full autonomy for all local government areas in the country. In the suit, the federal government specifically praised the court to issue an order prohibiting state governors from embarking on unilateral, arbitrary, and unlawful dissolution of democratically elected local government leaders. All right, now the governors of the 36 states were sued through their respective attorney generals. Now, some of the grounds listed in the suits, let me quickly run through that. One, that by the provisions of the Constitution, there must be a democratically elected local government system, and that the Constitution has not made provisions for any other systems of governance at the local government level other than democratically elected local government system. Two, that in the face of the clear provisions of the Constitution, the governors have failed and refused to put in place a democratically elected local government system, even where no state of emergency has been declared to warrant the suspension of democratic institutions in the state. Also, that the failure of the governors to put democratically elected local government system in place is a deliberate subversion of the 1999 Constitution, which they and the President have sworn to uphold. All right, it goes on and on and on, and then it ends with that in the face of the violation of the 1999 Constitution, the federal government is not obligated under Section 162 of the Constitution to pay any state funds standing to the credit of local governments where no democratically elected local government is in place. All right, so the Supreme Court has fixed the hearing to May 30. All right, so that's just in a couple of days. All right, on I think Thursday precisely. Anyways, let's talk about this issue, Mazi, this issue of the federal government, the state governors, and then, you know, the people who are actually the ones in this case, which is the local government. This is not the first time the issue of local government autonomy, all right, will be coming up, and we all know, you know, what's going on with that, the local government and the state governments. But then, would you praise the federal government for making this move?
Yeah, I think, my own humble opinion, I think it's a good development, but I have my fears whether it will see the light of the day, because the former president tried by his own, he used the executive order, and later on, he signed it, but then it didn't see the light of the day. The same, before you talk about all these things, you have to amend our constitution. And Priscilla has been an advocate of throwing away or putting aside this constitution. It has not helped us. The same constitution said that local government funds should be channeled through the state governors. Now, the state governors, I read that write-up, whatever. I read it, and they said the governors have used it as their own personal properties, estate. And of course, it's also went on to say that a situation where, even where there are multiple parties in the state, and some of them could not even have a member in the House of. You find out when the so-called purported election in the local government are held, only the ruling party there takes over. And we have been saying it's not possible for APC or PDP to win all the local government chairman seats in the state. It's not possible. But then it has come. Now it is in the Supreme Court. Let us interpretation.
It's not even about party representation.
No. It's because the governors decided to now pocket it. The governors know who is going to be the governor.
So you are saying that is a deliberateness on
It
the part
is.
of the governor?
Yes, it is because
so that they ensure that
who is the local government chairman? And you want us to say that there should not be any caretaker, committee caretaker chairman and whatever, because they single-handedly appoint these people they call local government chairman, because they have to now run the state for them. They have to make sure that they win back the election. So it is unfortunate that just like what is happening with the governors with the security vote, local government funds is more or less security vote to the governors. We must make sure that the development of the local government is real, and it must see the light of the day. But a situation where whatever fund comes from the federation account, it goes straight to the governor. The governor will call whoever he appoints here as a local government chairman, bring their salary sheet, blah blah blah, blah and things. And that, remember what happened 1999, whatever. There was a time Obasanjo seized the local government allocation from Lagos State because the Lagos State government created additional whatever, and it's still happening. In other states, the local government, yes. In other states, the local government, are they working? In my state, it's not working. My state now, all the local government, they now, I think they are using mayors to run the local government. But his reason is that he doesn't want politicians to handle local government. He wants those who have made it to come and use their money to develop the local government. But that's not the constitution. The constitution says that the local government should be run by elected chairmen and councillors. And of course, the governors, knowing what is happening, because of the lacuna, because of the problem they see in the loophole they see in the constitution, they now decided to do whatever. How many state government has elected this thing? So it's unfortunate that we are doing that. So it's a good development, but I don't see it scaling the light of the day. I don't see it.
Thank you, Mazi. Let me bring in Prince Chidaka to this conversation. All right, so constitutionally speaking, the local government is also a tier of government. If I recall, my social studies and government correctly, it's also a tier of government, and it is the tier of government that's closest to the people. So the issue of the local government even having autonomy shouldn't even be a matter of discourse in the first place, because it's already spelled out in the Constitution. So, but here we are, many years down the line, and the local government has been handicapped in delivering governance to the grassroots, the people that is supposed to serve. Now, the government taking them to court, the federal government taking the governors to court over this issue. Is it a good development to you, Prince Chidaka, and what do you think will happen, with this recent move by the federal government?
From the angle that I have always looked at it, it simply shows that the 1999 Constitution is an obnoxious document that needs to be shredded. If the Constitution is there, and the role of the local government, just as the role of the state government, just as the role of the federal government is outlined, and the state governors are usurping the power of the local government, and yet these are people who have sworn to defend the Constitution of Nigeria, then something is wrong. It simply means that that Constitution, that document, is not a reflection of what the Nigerian people want. It simply shows that it is a document that some people are using to feed fat, a document that some people are using to their own advantage. And I have maintained that I do not believe in that Constitution. I am not one of those who they say, we the Nigerian people. I was never part of that document. If we need to get this thing right, we can't keep going to court and asking the Supreme Court at every point in time to explain the Constitution of this country. It simply means that even those who have sworn to defend it do not understand what they're defending. So I do not support the idea of going to court. All I'm saying is that if they believe that the 1999 Constitution is a valid document, then there's no need going to court. Except they are saying now that that document, like I have maintained, is obnoxious, is outdated, and needs to be shredded.
All right, Ms. Chidaka, let me ask you a follow-up question based on what you've said. The Constitution, as it is, seems to have spelled out literally everything. What should be, how it should be, and what should not be. Is it the Constitution that is really faulty, or is it the people who are elected into positions who have refused, to obey what the law, what the Constitution says? Because I don't see how shredding a document and maybe rewriting it or having an entire new one can actually begin to change things if the people who are in these elected positions have made up their minds not to follow what the law says. So for me, I'm thinking, is it really the Constitution that is faulty? Or is it us, Nigerians, who have refused to obey the law?
Well, if you're saying that the Constitution is not faulty, and if you're saying that it boils down to those who have been elected refusing to obey the Constitution, then we're heading towards anarchy. It simply means that there's a total lawlessness.
Because the Constitution
What keeps us together as a country and as a nation is that document.
The Constitution is there.
So if some people refuse to obey that document, what are the punitive measures? How do you punish people who refuse to obey the Constitution? The Constitution should be able to have punitive measures for those who disobey it. But you have a Constitution where people don't get punished. People don't get punished for doing the wrong things. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, a document that holds the state together, that people are refusing to obey, then it means that that document is the problem and not the people.
Martin, do you agree?
Yeah, well, to some extent, I don't agree with him because we will have a problem with that constitution. But then the constitution has spelled out the role of the local government. But at the same time, there's a portion in that constitution that says funds of the local government should go through the state government. And that is why they hijacked it. Like I said earlier, it is the governor that decides who becomes the local government chairman. It is the governor that decides who becomes ordinary councillor. So he who plays the pipe and he takes the tone. So the same thing, that's the problem we have in River State. Because somebody single-handedly, I was reading today, that even somebody paid the nomination, won the election for some people in the River State. So the issue here is this. But Madam P, can you remember some years back, even there was whatever that went through the 36 state of the Federation about the autonomy of this local government, especially the primary school fund. And the teachers, the primary school education, said that let it be, the federal government wanted the money to be transferred to the district, but they declined because they know what they're getting. So to me, going to court is a good development. But I stand to say that I am not sure it will see the light of it. How many states are being controlled by a single party? So the same people will now say, go and settle it at home. I remember this issue of whatever that was instigated by River State sometime, the VAT. Would we see the end of it today? We didn't see the end of it. So it's going to be the same thing. But the president has made good by saying, Supreme Court, please, let us have an interpretation. And again, make sure you give us an order that will compel everything to go straight to the local government. Like you rightly said, local government is nearer to the people. I remember in those days, but today, governor has nothing to do with the local government. But today, governor decide what happens. The governor decide what to be done in local government. He decide who is the chairman. He decide whatever happens in local government is a comes from the governor. It's not supposed to be so. They're supposed to be independent of themselves. But unfortunately, I don't know, because of the way we run our affairs here, because we decide to do things contrary to even the same constitution we're accusing now. There are some areas that are good in constitution. But the implementers, those who implement, those who are elected to implement or to even carry out what instruction as laid out by the constitution are even more guilty than any other person. So the governors are guilty. The governors are the cause of this problem because they want to use it to guide themselves. Because it's just like I mentioned about security vote. It's not that they don't account for it. But time will come when it's either scrapped or they will give account of that stewardship, because that area is no good area. The same thing about the local government fund. It should not go through the to the state government again. It should go straight. And I want to sincerely believe that Supreme Court will give the needful judgment in this, and it will become a finality of it, so that when you must be elected, you must be elected. Governor, you have been elected. The state of the assembly elected. Let the local government be elected, both the councillors and the chairman. Let them be elected as required by the constitution.
Thank you so much, Mazi. Thank you, Prince Chilaka. Now,
okay,
you want to say something?
Patience.
Okay, quickly,
let me just add
Go
this
ahead.
quickly.
Please.
Yes, if we keep saying the governors have hijacked the local government and we want to get this thing right, then we need to scrap all the state electoral commissions and let INEC conduct elections for local government. It starts from there. There must be a starting point. The point is that there's a total balkanization of the constitution, and our leaders are in the forefront of doing this. So let us start from where it really needs to start. Let INEC begin to conduct elections into local government and not the state electoral commissions.
I think either the INEC chairman has said something like that. Before you get it right, INEC should take over the state electoral commission, so that they'll be able to conduct the election after conducting the state, the governorship and the state house assembly. Let them conduct that of local government, because it is winners take all.
Okay, thank you so much, gentlemen. Now, part of what the federal government listed in its suit against the 36 governors is, and I read, that all efforts to make the governors comply with the dictates of the 1999 Constitution in terms of putting in place a democratically elected local government system has not yielded any result, and that to continue to disburse funds from the Federation account to governors for non-existing democratically elected local government is to undermine the sanctity of the 1999 Constitution. And there goes my own view on all of this, the fact that the Constitution has already spelled out the roles of every tier of government and how these things should be. But we, the people, have refused to follow through.
The governors, because they are, you see,
the 10th of May, in 2 days' time, the Supreme Court will be hearing this so quickly.
My state government, there is a particular market, two markets that have been there since before the war, and the local government goes there to issue out so many levies, and even nothing. They are still being run on the touch shades and things like that. Nothing, very close, no development in my state in terms of local government, except this time around the governor has come in to do something. So I think, my own opinion, I support the move by the president, and I want to sincerely believe that it will see the light of the day. Remember, I've said this time again, seeing the light of the day, because I know what is happening. The local government should be run by elected local government chairman and executive, not the state government. If they can do it, so that the governor should be stripped of his power, that not having anything to do with the local government. So I think we should have some development in local government. My own area, nothing there.
All right. Well, the local government, as we have it, is the closest tier of government to the people, and if it's not functioning in full capacity, then governance cannot be delivered to the people. It can be delivered to you and I. So, of course, that is the importance of this move being made by the federal government, to ensure that those at the grassroots actually feel the impact of governance. Well, that's as much as we can take today. Many thanks to my guests today. Thank you so much, Prince Francis Chilaka. Thank you for joining us virtually on the program today.